Hey guys, Cameron with CPM Reviews. I'm back, baby. Sorry it took a while for me to come back. I had a lot of things going on. I don't mind sharing it with you either. I had my older brother, he got married. Then I had my wife, she graduated with her master's. My kid is getting ready to go to kindergarten. My car died and I had to buy a new battery. And then I almost had to go to jury duty. But all that's kind of out of the way. It's calmed down now, and I'm ready to get my reviews back on board. And I've got one for you today. This is the newest comic book movie that was released in theaters. This is the review of The Kitchen. The Kitchen is based off of a DC Vertigo comic book of the same name, and it's directed by Andrea Berlov. It stars Melissa McCarthy, Tiffany Haddish, and Elizabeth Moss. And I'm gonna give you kind of like a quick rundown of the storyline, some things I liked, some things I didn't, and I'm gonna give you that sweet grade. So hang on, kids. We're almost to the review, but before I get started, I want to give a huge thank you to my subscribers. Thank you for waiting patiently for me. I appreciate it. If you aren't subscribed to this channel, but you like comic book movie reviews, TV reviews, even con footage or top 10 lists, click that subscribe button. And if you want to know as soon as anything goes live, hit that notification bell. You'll know as soon as a video goes up. To give you the story in a very tight nutshell, the three main characters are wives of little mafioso guys in the Irish mob. They get locked up and now they're kind of feeling the squeeze because the head of the Irish mob is kind of being tight on that money. So they decide they're going to go into it themselves and make a name for themselves. And they have to deal with outside sources squeezing in, and then afterward they have to deal with inside sources kind of blowing things up from within. And that's essentially your story. Now, I'm going to tell you a few things that I liked. Number one, this is supposed to be set in the 70s. It looks like it's set in the 70s. It's muted heavily, but it does feel like a period piece. Also, something that I really enjoyed was Melissa McCarthy acted really well in this movie. I did enjoy when she was on screen. She gave compelling performances, and I'm gonna get to why I'm specifically saying that. Elizabeth Moss's character is actually, I guess, the most compelling. She's the character that goes through the most realistic type of growth. Although, when I say realistic, she kind of goes out there. She goes from 0 to 100 pretty quick, but the kind of growth that she goes through because of what she's been through, you can relate to it. Like I said, it's kind of a huge margin. There's a huge stretch, but I liked her story arc. There was one character that I really enjoyed, and he's not in the movie very much, but it's a character by the name of Corsetti. He is located in Brooklyn. Most of this movie is set in Hell's Kitchen, but he's in Brooklyn. Whenever you go to Brooklyn in this movie, it's a little bit more vibrant. It's a little bit more alive. It feels more modern. It feels upkept, better. And when he's on screen, he's the smartest guy in the room, and he's the best actor in the room. No offense to everybody else in the movie, but he was given the best things to do. And I just wish that everybody else had more of that kind of energy in the movie. But it's sad to say this movie is quite forgettable. Like, there are some problems that are in the script. Specifically, there are two huge problems in the script. Number one, the script is thin. And what I mean by that is that there are things that happen that would never happen in the real world. Like, these women go into it themselves, but you would think that they would have to muscle up on somebody to kind of stake their claim. That doesn't happen. It's kind of weak sauce how it all starts rolling. And the second problem that I have is that the dialogue, for the most part, is pretty crappy. Like, the best dialogue comes from Corsetti, and it comes from Melissa McCarthy's character. I did not at any moment enjoy anything that Tiffany Haddish brought to the table. I just didn't. I'm not a fan of hers, but this is a different kind of role for her. It's not a comedic role. It's something serious. It has to do with, mobster type. No, it does not work. She needs to stick with what she's good with. Oh, they're coming for me for this video. The movie also ends way anticlimactic. And it's one of those things to where you're kind of sitting there and you're thinking, is that it? But because this movie is the way it is, I was more thinking, thank God that's it. It's not the worst movie. It's not even the worst comic book movie that's come out this year. But overall, this movie is such a snooze fest. I have absolutely no reason to recommend you watching it. I have absolutely no reason to recommend anybody watch it a second time. In fact, not that it was edited poorly, but I'm pretty sure that the people that made this movie only went through it the one time, because that's all that anybody may be able to stomach with it. It's a solid 40 at best. The story, as far as the script is concerned, super thin, super light. If I'm watching a movie plot, I want to get a nice, thick, juicy steak, and this gave me a pounded chicken patty. The acting is just so-so. There are some good actors in this. Melissa McCarthy does a great job. Elizabeth Moss does a really good job as well, but everybody else really kind of feels flat. Like, there's no tension in any scenes, and that is a product of the screenplay and the acting. Also, the visuals, like I said, it looks like it's in the 70s, but it's so incredibly muted that there's nothing that really makes me feel like, ooh, that looks great. This is a gangster movie, but there's no crime scenes or any kind of anything that just stands out. And so, with all of these components kind of falling flat, the directing, it also does that. I'm done with the movie as a whole as it is. But I did want to give you my review of it. Let me know what you guys think about it in the comment section down below. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button, and if you're new here, subscribe to the channel. Share this with your friends, and as always, this is Cameron with CV Reviews. We'll see you next time.